So now my phone actually turned off because it was full. I wish you could have been. Here I was doing all this weird stuff. I was like turning it, and then it started to, the packet came apart. Awesome. It has a nice scent. I can tell you that recently I bought a cleaner. I'm not going to say their name because it's just my preference. It smelled just like Listerine. I couldn't take it. Here, this is what my parents... I don't use Listerine, but my parents use Listerine. And it just seems so weird. Here I am. I'm cleaning, and it smells like I'm cleaning with their mouthwash. And I guess I just couldn't get past that. I don't know. I hated the smell. Did it clean well? I guess. I mean, I could clean with water if I really had to. I just couldn't handle that smell. What I was saying before, the Green Gobbler, I buy this. My parents, their house is upstairs. This is my apartment that I built on when my husband died. And their sink always gets clogged for some reason. It's just the plumbing is not done the way it should have been. So I saw Green Gobbler on QVC or something like that, and I figured I would give it a try, and it really worked. It actually unclogged their drain. Then they started using it on then they started having trouble with their washer. The water was backing up into a bucket in their basement. And so we tried it there, and it did the same thing. I think it was just lint that started to get clogged up in the drain going outside. I don't know, but the Green Gobbler, it worked. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, Green Gobbler! That, just sitting here, it reminded me that, you know what? I used to use this. Now, there's warnings on here, you know, that it looks like you shouldn't get it on your hands. I gotta say that it's really hard to read on this thing here, because it is green writing on a clear label, but I'm trying to figure out how to get it so I can actually read it. This is so sad. What?
Just making fun of you.
My lip?
No.
Yes, I've been pretty sick. I don't know if you know that cold sores can actually turn dangerous. I wouldn't have known it, but it can. It can actually make you very, very sick. And if you get a cold sore and you start to not feel well in other ways, you need to go to the doctor, because it can actually go to your brain. It can go up to your eyes. Even though you're not having any sores in your eyes, it can actually go up to your eyes, and it could also go into your brain and cause encephalitis. So if ever you get a cold sore, and 99.9% of human beings get cold sores, there's like a serious 1% or so that don't get them, and you just might have been by somebody when you were younger who had cold sores, and that's all it really needs to take. I think it's in the family of chickenpox and shingles, and I don't know if it's in the family, but it's along the same lines. When I was reading, they mentioned shingles and chickenpox. And, well, I did this to myself. I was doing a face mask on my lip. I saw, oh, it brought something to the surface. I started poking, and I read later, that you should never traumatize the area that you normally get cold sores in, because it will bring on cold sores. But, you know, I didn't know that. Anyway, I can't read this. I would love to tell you what the cautions are. Wait. Hey, Cordell. Paisano? Right there, in that angle, I can see some of it. Keep out of reach of children. Jeez. Oh. It's driving me crazy. I can't read it. I'm actually going to have to go online and read their stuff, and I'll put it down below because I don't know if you can see. You might be able to see. Let me find where there's a warning. I see caution somewhere. Okay, that's that. I could have swore I saw something about hands. I saw the word hands. I'm going to put it up just in case you can read it and I can't. If it's something that we can get on the camera. Here's this section. Next. Next. And I'll read it. I'll look on my film to see if it's actually readable. I know I can see through the back that these are the numbered directions. Note. I see the word note, or maybe. I don't know. I'm not even going to try. Anyway, unfortunately, I have very bad vision, and it could just be me. But it seems very hard. This is really warm, so because it's warm, I'm not gonna put this on its little storage thing yet, because I don't want to take a chance of it somehow being warm and messing with those other little guys. But let's take it to the bathroom. I deliberately didn't clean my bathroom yesterday so that I could come in here and try. So, I wouldn't say that my bathroom is terribly dirty, but it needs to be cleaned. So I think it said it was melon apple. One thing I wanted to see is around my drain, you know, the drain, around that piece there, it always tends to get, I would say it's probably mold, or I don't know. I'm just assuming. But it smells good. Let me see if I can read it better in here. Safer for the planet, easy to use. See, the big yellow writing I could read. Great on all surfaces. Effective on dirt, grime, grease, scuff marks, oil, markers, dust, and silicone. Great for leather, kitchen appliances, stove tops. The writing on this one is white, it looks like. Or maybe it's just because it has the green stuff in it that it's making it easier to read. Finally, power and green can work together. Well, I'm happy that it smells good. Let's see if it worked on that issue that I say that I'm talking about without me scrubbing. I guess I should have showed you that first. Well, it did. This is a scuff mark here for some reason. But all around this edge here is always, like, I would say, there me, look, I'm shedding constantly. Constant. I am losing my hair. I could see when I got sick this last time recently, even my fingernails are showing signs of help. They need me. Something's wrong. I'm going to go to the doctor's tomorrow. Because this happened Friday. Of course, everything happens. Well, you saw all that gunk that was around my faucet. So it's usually fairly clean. You see, that looks like there's coffee there. So I like to really clean my bathroom often, practically every day, because I do coffee enemas in here, and I feel that it's extra important to have a very clean bathroom then, because they say that anything that you do in the toilet can become airborne, and so who wants to deal with that? Nobody. So that is why every day I wipe the bathroom down, because of what I learned in whatever, telling me that every time anybody goes to the bathroom, fecal matter becomes airborne. So that means anything that you have out on the counters or whatever in the bathroom there's a probability that there could be something gross that lands on it. So one thing you should always do is rinse your toothbrush before you use it. I always do. It's like a habit that I've gotten. I think I've probably always done it anyway. But, so here we go. I'm going to let it sit first. Because there's like that there. You can see it's actually doing something, because I can see the yellow that was here is now over there. So it is gobbling up some of my yuckies. I didn't move that stuff. Why? I'm lazy. I will get to it. I'm going to use this area to put my camera while I wipe up, because I need that down. I'm rolling up my sleeves. I wet this a little. Gonna scrub that again. Scrub the inside of the sink. Looks nice and clean, and again, it smells really good. And now we'll head up here. So for me, I clean almost every day that I can. Sometimes I'm sick and I don't, that's what happens. Yesterday I was sick, but on top of that, I knew I had to make a Green Gobbler video. So I was like, leave the bathroom, Diane. You don't feel good, but leave the bathroom. I was telling you, and I don't know, my camera cut off before because it was full. But, what was I going to say? Oh, I had bought a cleaner. It was a green cleaner. And it smelled just like Listerine. And that ruined it for me. It really did. It smelled just like I was using Listerine out of the bottle in here as a cleaner. It smelled identical. I could have just opened up a bottle of Listerine. And it's a great company. I love the company. Just couldn't handle that smell. It was too familiar, I guess you could say. That was probably the problem. The smell was just too familiar as a mouthwash. The green cloth is really losing. You can't see it, it's losing its color, but when I squeeze it out, the water's so green. I'm going to assume that it's just the rag, because I don't think there is that much Green Gobbler. My necklace fell. Get back. I took my necklace off yesterday. Everything was hurting me. Can you see that? One day I would love to replace my bathroom top here. That would be nice. So now I'm going to come in here where all that yellow was, and it has there's still some there, but definitely not as much. This is like the glue that holds the sink, the faucet in. And I hate that it does this. It's just like it's constantly leaking out. Or what it is I bleach it with bleach, and then it just, the bleach wears off, I guess. I don't know. It just comes back. But the best part is, I know it's clean, even though the glue marks are there, but that drives me nuts. I hate it, because I feel like it's dirty, even though I know it's not dirty. Sometimes I sit here and I work on this, but I don't want to scratch up the porcelain or whatever this is, so, you know, you just can't overdo it. But this OCD with this drives me nuts. And what I'll end up doing is put bleach on this. It'll bleach it out for a while. It's probably the bleach that's doing it, right? Somebody's gonna write and tell me that the bleach is causing my problem. Which, if you do, that's fine, because then I'll know. Stop it. Stop it, Diane. Stop it. So sometimes when I'm doing the coffee stuff in here in this little sink, it splashes up on this back wall, and because, you know, I have it in a big container and I'm trying to clean out a big container in here. So it did a nice job. Nice and clean, nice and shiny. You can see that it's shiny. To me and my mom, the shininess means a lot to her. I don't know if it's her generation or what, but when I clean their house and it's all, like, she notices the shine. So now I wipe down everything before I put it back in place. And there is, I'm not spraying the Green Gobbler on my stuff, but you know it's on this rag still. And I think there's a warning for your hands. So I definitely will wash my hands when I'm done. When I go online, I'll read further if there's like a serious don't get it on your hands issue. Because I was taking care of my mom, and I was using this, I call them Heiny wipes, but I was using these cleaning wipes at the hospital, and of course I didn't read it, but it had a warning not to get it on your hands, yet you had to wear surgical gloves. So I had been doing that for months. And finally a nurse said something to me. I don't know how many nurses saw me using that beforehand and never mentioned it to me. But so this nurse is like, I don't know if you know this, but that is has a chemical warning on it, and you're not supposed to use that without, oh crap, saved. You're not supposed to use that without gloves. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm gonna, when I go to their site, when I post this video, I will definitely put the information underneath, because, and it may just be my eyes. I was calling my son, but he's got a headset on, so he can't. Oh, he scared me. Can you go get that little thing that's on the kitchen table that has all the chemical packs in it? Can you tell me if you can read the warnings on there?
Chemical pack.
It's like a little dish that has a bunch of packets in it. It's not the packets I want you to see if you can read, but on the outside of that plastic container, there's some warning signs or warning issues. I can't read them. It's too hard for me.
I can read them a little bit, it's still hard though.
Okay. He says he can read them, but it's still hard. So is there anything important, like, am I not supposed to be touching it?
Let's see. Keep from freezing, store in a cool, dry place. Never put wet hands in container. Always close container after use. Avoid excessive handling. Use packet immediately. Wash hands thoroughly after handling. Do not eat, drink, or smoke when using this product. Wear eye protection and protection gloves.
So I should be wearing gloves, and I didn't know. So next time, I probably won't wear gloves. I don't know.
Oh, dear.
Huh?
Call a poison center or doctor if you feel unwell. Do not induce vomiting.
Well, I think that's if you swallow it.
Drink a large quantity of water. Do not attempt to give liquids to an unconscious person.
Well, that's for somebody who, like if a child has drank it. They're telling you not to induce vomiting because it could burn your esophagus on the way up if you induce vomiting. So that's what that's for.
If in eyes, rinse cautiously with water for several minutes. Remove contact lenses if present and easy to do. Continue rinsing if eye irritation persists. Get medical advice.
So it's pretty much the same thing that's on all cleaners, except the fact that it says you should wear gloves.
Here's the info on skin thing. Wash with plenty of water. If skin irritation occurs, get medical advice. Take off contaminated clothing and wash it before reuse. The specific chemical identity and or contact or exact percentage concentration of composition has been withheld as a trade secret. Jeez, this thing is,
well, that's
hard to read.
I love my glow maze
Really
and my
nice.
shea butter. What?
No, I'm just insulting buddy.
You're insulting the dog.
Yes.
So it does a really nice job. Those warnings are pretty much the same warnings that are on any cleaner, except the fact that it says you should wear gloves.
Smells like hair dye in here.
It smells like hair dye? It's supposed to have like an apple melon scent. It doesn't smell like hair dye to me. It smells okay. It doesn't smell that bad at all
I
to me.
smell like hair dye, so that's good.
So like I said, I wipe everything down after my enemas because records show that anytime any human being uses the bathroom, that fecal matter becomes airborne. And I'm not trying to say that big pieces of poop are floating in the air. That's just ridiculous. But the fact is that your scent molecules carry particles. And so anytime you smell anything like that, there's particles are now in the air. They're airborne.
Do you want me to read the instructions too?
Sure. While I'm cleaning, you can read.
Instructions for use. 1. Drop 1 Ultra Pack into bottle and add hot water. 2. Shake bottle to mix. Allow approximately 1 minute for pack to fully dissolve.
I want to say that I love you don't have to open that packet because I was a bit worried.
Why, it just like disintegrates?
It disintegrates, and my video I think caught some of it, and then of course the phone shut off because it said it was full.
Yeah, probably melt your hands if it gets on your hands. Looks pretty potent.
Well, the Green Gobbler, remember that stuff we used to put in my parents' sink when their sink was getting clogged?
No.
Well, I bought it. It was green, and I even still have that green thing you put down the sink and it pulls the hair out.
Oh, yes.
It's the same company as that. So now I'm over here at the toilet. What? It came with its own fiber cloths too, by the way. My toilet gets cleaned every day. It's probably the cleanest toilet on the block. I'm going to just spray some on my rag. So yeah, those warnings are pretty much the same warnings that you would get with any cleaner. Because, you know, if you drink it, you're going to be in troubles. So let's see the toilet.